Hey, thank you so much, Dr. Marlena. I am so honored and privileged to be here with you right now. And you know what? For those of you who don't know, Dr. Marlena is a phenomenal young lady that I had the privilege of meeting a few years ago at a mastermind type of event, speaking event. And you know what? This young lady is such an honorable young lady with a lot of integrity, and she does everything with from her heart. And her story is just absolutely phenomenal. So I am honored and privileged to share with you some of the information that we're going to share today. So would you mind if we just have like a fire pit conversation? I mean, I really want to kind of like ask you a few questions. And the first one is, what is it that you want? What do you want? Have you ever thought about that? Most people, when you ask them what they want, they have no clue what they want. I mean, they can tell you all the things that they don't want. You know, I don't want to work for a 9 to 5. I don't want to my kids to suffer. I don't want them to go through the things that I went through. No, but what do you want? Well, I don't want to live in poverty. No, 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 no. What do you want? You see, most people don't really realize, they don't really pay attention to some of the things that they want. So I want you to go ahead and just kind of like ponder that question for a second. What is it that you want? Really put some time to thinking about what is it that you want out of life in all areas, financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and with your physical health. What is it that you want? How do you want your life to be? Guess what? You can get to that moment if you understood that you are in charge. Okay. Now, so what is it that you want? Ask yourself that question and write it down. Okay, I'll give you a minute. Okay, time's up. Anyway, when you look into the mirror, that smart mirror when you get home or when you go into the restroom, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Who am I? How do I want to show up in the world? How do I want to treat people? How do I want to be treated? What is my integrity? What do I stand for? What about me will I change for nobody because that is who I am? And what do I desire in my life in all areas? Again, mentally, emotionally, financially, physically. Any area of your life you choose to design right now, you have to put a lot of attention to it. And the more attention that you put into designing that life, guess what? The more real it's going to become. Not only the more real it's going to become, it's going to jump off that paper, so to speak, and become your reality. Yes, you could design your life, the lifestyle that you really, really choose to live. You can design it right now as we speak. Anything else is left to chance. And you know, some people, they just leave too many things to chance, but not you. You're not going to leave things to chance, right? So when you understand you'll show up different in every single way. Matter of fact, you are constantly in your superpower. Every single thing that you do, you're in your superpower. You're living a life of excellence. You'll create a life that the way you want to see your life is that's the way you're going to create it. So sometimes all we need is a little motivation, right? What do you think the guy on the bike wants? Of course, he wants to get away from that bear. You see, he's not focused on, oh, I wonder what's going on a Geraldo show, or I wonder what the president. No, no, no. He's not worried about any of those things. You see, his single focus right now is to get away from that bear. That's what he wants right now as we speak. Have you found out what you want right now? So in order to do so, you have to ask yourself another question. Who are you? You see, I'm pretty sure that Dr. Marlena have covered this before, but one of my favorite quotes is by a gentleman by the name of Mark Twain. He says, the two most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. But in order for you to find out why you were born, you have to understand who you are and whose you are, okay? Write that question down as well, and maybe you can ask yourself throughout the rest of this event. You see, there's two types of people that you can actually become. You can become a drifter or you can become a settler. Now, drifters are lenient, they're playful, they're passive, they live at the spur of the moment, so to speak. They go with the flow. And you know what? They live for the now. Right now is the only moment that they live for. And you know what? They're free-spirited. Now, all of us are drifters at one point when we're cubs, when we're babies, right? So all of us are drifters at one point, but then as you mature a little bit, you become a little bit more like a settler. And a settler is less tolerant. They're focused, they're driven, they're organized, they're leaders, and they're stable. And guess what? They are responsible. So you can imagine at some point in time in your life, you was a drifter, at some point in time in your life, you was a settler, and maybe you're both on a daily basis, right? That's me, I'm both on a daily basis sometimes. Okay, have you found out what it is that you want? What do you want out of life? What do you want out of your finances? What do you want out of your relationship? What do you want out of your kids? What do you want out of your job? What do you want out of yourself? So if you don't know what you want, you will end up without, well, actually you will end up with what you don't want. And we don't want that, right? I mean, there's another old adage that says something like, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. And you don't want to be stranded on this particular road. Trust me, this is not a good look, right? So every human being has one motive. Every human being on the planet only have one motive, and that is to move from pain to pleasure. Like we were saying earlier, some people were saying, well, hey, I don't want to work a 9 to 5, or I don't want to live in poverty. You see, that's a pain point. But what is it that you want? So we want to help you move from your pain to your pleasure. That's what we're here for, okay? Have you ever been to a point where you actually had your back up against the wall? I'm pretty sure you have, right? And I'm talking about where it seems like it's kind of like a dam. Every time one problem happened, you plug it up with your finger, then another problem and another spurt comes out, and you plug it up with your other finger. Then sooner or later, you got to plug it up with your elbows and your tongue, and you just plugging away at these things. And next thing you know, the water pressure goes somewhere else, or the peer pressure goes somewhere else, or the pain points go somewhere else. And sooner or later, you notice that you don't have enough fingers to plug up all these holes, right? And next thing you know, you're actually in a flood, in a tidal wave, in a typhoon, so to speak. And you're basically floating or drowning in all of these issues, these problems. Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna help you with that, because you have to be like a lion. Matter of fact, you're already a lion, or maybe you're a lioness, and your problems are like lionesses as well. However, you cannot sit and be passive with these. You have to be very, very aggressive, and you have to fight for what it is that you want, even into the finish. Yep, that's the way life is. You have to fight until it's finished, okay, until you're finished. John Q was a great example of this. Matter of fact, Denzel Washington played the gentleman by the name of John Q. And I love this movie. It's a great movie. For those of you who don't have it, you definitely want to go get it. This is a movie of a story of love, absolutely. And it's also a story of faith. This is a story of hope, challenges, beliefs, as well as sacrifices. This is an amazing story. So I strongly encourage you to go get it. Now, John Q is kind of like an average person, right? They lived a average family life, nothing really nothing really major or anything like that. Just a mediocre lifestyle. They were believers, and of course they are hard workers and, taxpayers. The common man, basically. Now, there were some storms that came into his life, and when the storms of life hit, guess what? They hit very, very hard. Have you been through some storms that hit you? We call those designer storms. And these designer storms, they don't take anything for granted. Matter of fact, they don't care how nice you've been. They don't care what school you've gone to. They don't care that you've been the prom queen. They don't care about any of that type of stuff, right? When the storms of life, especially these designer storms, when they hit pretty hard. But it's okay. We got a solution for that as well. I want you to take a look at this for a second.
This is Lieutenant Frank Grimes of Chicago Police Department. Are you the man in charge?
That's right.
Well, who am I speaking to?
John Q.
I assume since all the doors are locked, this is a hostage situation. Is that correct?
Okay. Bless me, Father, for I've sinned. I know you do things your own way.
Blood pressure is dropping fast. He's going into cardiac arrest.
But I don't understand.
Mike's heart is useless. He's going to need a transplant or he's going to die.
What made Mike so sick?
Transplant surgery is very expensive.
We got insurance.
There are no provisions in your policy for a procedure of this magnitude.
All right, you want money? I'll get you your money.
We've recently switched carriers.
We only give assistance to patients without coverage. I'm sorry I can't help you.
Have you tried Medicaid?
No, you don't qualify.
My son is dying. I'm broke. If I don't qualify, who the hell does?
I've done everything I can do. I'm sorry.
Please,
They are releasing him. Now you need to do something.
I'll take care of it.
Hear me? Do something.
The hospital's under new management now. Everybody does exactly what I say, nobody will get hurt. Or hurt. I want my kid's name on the donors list.
This is gonna end up bad for you, John.
Police will do whatever is necessary to preserve the lives of these hostages.
They're telling me I gotta take my son home and watch him die.
If you could speak to John Q right now, what would you say to him? I'm there with you and you take care.
5:15, when something happens for me.
Are you praying for his baby?
Yes, I'm praying, sweetheart. He's a good kid. You'd like him.
I am not gonna bury my son. I got a shot at this guy and I'm gonna take it. My son is gonna bury me.
Take the shot.
How's it gonna end, John?
I don't know.
Wow, that is an amazing picture. Matter of fact, that's pressure after pressure after pressure, right? In life, you have one choice. You could either do a transplant, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and grow, or die. For those that are not growing, guess what? You're already dying. So I'm talking about doing a transplant of your mindset, doing a transplant of your mentality, doing a transplant of your situation. You see, in John's case, he actually had health insurance, but guess what? He had the best health insurance on the market, told by this guy right here, right? And he also said, trust me, you're covered. But guess what happens when you really need it? When he goes to the hospital, they denied him. You see, it says right here in your insurance policy that your policy covers everything except what you really need. You can't actually use it. You can't use it when you need it. That would be ridiculous. That would be silly, right? Duh. Isn't that what we actually have been taught? That the insurance companies would tell us that, hey, you need to have this, you need to have that. Well, the sales guys would tell us about this, but it's basically useless when we really want it. So basically, he was unqualified. How many of you felt that way? I know I have several times, but you're not alone. Don't worry, there's hope. Especially when the young ladies there, or shall I say, the powers to be, are basically ignoring you. So where do you go when your help refuses to help? Matter of fact, let me ask you another question. When your help refuses to help, it forces you to face your new reality after being lied to for years. What do you do? Where do you go when your help can't help you? Matter of fact, when you are the help for everyone else, where do you go to? There's hope. There is hope. We go to the church, and we know how our church people are. We just give a couple of dollars here and there because he got to raise money for his family, right? So we just give a couple of dollars, put it in an offering plate just to pass the plate around. And it's usually just $1 bills and maybe a $5 bill, hardly ever any 10s, 20s, or 50s. Hardly ever any 100s, right? Then you work 2 jobs or something like that. And why? Why do you work 2 jobs? Because you need results. And when do you need results? You need results now. You can't wait for tomorrow. You can't wait till next week. You can't wait till 2 weeks from now. You need results right now. So you do things that's going to get you results immediately. Why? Because your pride and joy is depending on you. Your family deserves more. Are you giving them all that you can give them? So what happened in John's case? What did he do? He's actually sold his truck. Why? Because the truck is like the biggest investment that he had besides his house right now. But this is the same thing that actually got him back and forth to work. It was he actually used his truck for work, but for desperate times comes desperate measures, right? So he had to sell his truck. And not only did he sell his truck, they had to sell their wedding rings. And guess what? For pennies on the dollar, basically. For less than $100, he's selling the most precious, valuable heirlooms that he had. They have to sell furniture and things of that nature. Maybe you go to OfferUp. Maybe you go to Amazon. I don't know. You just go into garage sale and you're selling it for knucklehead pennies and nickels and small dollars. And guess what? You're grateful for it. Because every dollar counts. You also start to borrow money from your family and your friends, and you know you're going to pay them back. However, you know that you have to raise like $275,000 in a very short period of time, or else your son dies. So you don't know what you're really going to do, right? So you count the money, and you're making some money, but it's never enough in the right time. It's never enough in time. So you're under a lot of pressure. I get it. I've been there, done that. You're under a lot of pressure. And the doctors are in your face telling you the things that you don't want to hear, right?
They are releasing him. Now you need to do something.
I'll take care of it.
Hear me? Do something.
Guess what? The spouse is like, hey, I can't settle for any type of excuses. We need results today. You need to do something right now. So there's a lot of pressure on you. I get it. They're worried, facing the unknown. They don't know what's going to happen. And sometimes we're in that position where we don't know what's going to happen, but we have to stay positive. And we're trying to stay positive. And another thing is that we're trying to stay prayerful. And we're trying to believe that what the doctors tell us, but they're telling us to give up, to accept it, to go on, to go ahead and just throw in the towel, so to speak. No. That's the wrong thing that you can do right now. That's the wrong thing. Matter of fact, never give up. Don't accept that. Matter of fact, you just need a little bit of hope. Hold on. Pain ends. That pain that you're feeling right now, it can go away. That worry, that doubt, that frustration that you're feeling right now, or that you had in the past, guess what? It didn't last always. I come here to tell you, I just stopped by to tell you that the designer storms that you have in your life doesn't come to stay, they come to pass. So I know sometimes it feels like you're walking in a dark tunnel, and the further you get in that tunnel, guess what? It gets a little bit darker, then a little bit darker, and 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 soon you can't see any type of light. And you've been in this place for a while, and you've been walking for a while, and you're tired, and oh man, you're hungry, and your back is hurting, and you're dehydrated. Oh my God, can you imagine that? And all of a sudden you're in pain. You've been in the dark for decades now. So you don't know when you're going to see the light. You're drained, you're thirsty. And now you're thinking, hey, this is my norm. I'm accustomed to the abnormal. And now the abnormal to me is normal. You're weak, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and you're tired, and you tried everything to get out of this tunnel. Matter of fact, you've been in the dark so long, you don't even remember what the light looks like. You doubt you will ever get out of this tunnel as well. And just when you're about to give up, you see this lightning bug. You're like, whoa, what was that? And you whoa, what was, did I just see, hold up, wait. Here's the thing. If he can get in, that only means one thing, right? If he can get in, that means I can get out. So there is hope. That light, that little bitty firefly reminds you of what the light looks like. That little bitty tiny firefly sparked enough hope in you to increase your energy, to give you confidence, and to give you enough power so you can have a breakthrough. Why? Because your pride and joy is depending on you right now. Yes, and your pride and joy is hopeful that you're gonna pull through for them as well. So you have to do something, but you don't have to do something tomorrow, next week, or next month. You have to do something, anything, and you have to do it right now. I don't care what you do, figure it out. You got to do something right now. And you got to do whatever it takes. You got to do whatever you got to do. You just got to get it done. And I encourage you to give Dr. Marlena a call. I encourage you to actually get some counseling. I encourage you to get some direction from someone who's been there, done that. I encourage you to get a coach. Now, what is one of the reasons? When you're in a destitute situation like that, reason, logic, policies, procedures, rules, excuses, all of that stuff just goes out of the window. Why? Because you know you got to get a result today. Now you're in what's called a desperation mindset. You know exactly what you want, and you're laser focused on it, and nothing is going to stop you from getting it. Nothing and no one is going to stop you from getting it. See, that's the type of mindset that you want to chase your dreams with. That's the type of mindset that you actually want to show up to life with. that type of determination. You're willing to do whatever it takes. I didn't say you have to go get a gun, but you're willing to do whatever it takes because you know for a fact that you can't take no for an answer. Imagine how quickly you'll get your dreams if you have that type of mindset when going after your dreams, when it comes to your health, when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your relationships. Imagine if you had that type of determination, that type of focus when it came to doing anything that you want. You see, you have one mission, one message, and one outcome. And that is to be successful in everything that you do. So unfortunately, people are going to take shots at you, of course. And you know what? It will be painful. Will it be painful? Absolutely. Yep. But here's the thing. It didn't take you out. And another thing is that you've already survived 100% of the things that tried to take you out. You've already survived it. Matter of fact, your worst day that you've ever lived, you've already over it. It's in the past. That means that everything in the front of you is sweet. That's a beautiful thing. So when they take shots at you, you have to remember that you're helping our people excel. HOPE, you just need a little bit of hope to help your people, your family, your peers excel, to get better, to invest in yourself so you can get better as well. Okay, because why? You're looking for results. This is a results-driven type of lifestyle. Even if it means risking your own life. Imagine that. But guess what? In John's case, they found a donor. They found a heart for John's son, which is a beautiful thing. And guess what? Here's the thing. There's always a ram in the bush. No matter how thick your situation is, God always has a ram in the bush. Matter of fact, I encourage you to ask Dr. Marlena, who was her ram in her bush when she was going through, when she was on the operating table, when she was in the hospital and coded several times. I encourage you to ask her who was her ram in the bush, because if God can do it for her, he can do it for you as well. So you got to have hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. Hope for a better lifestyle. So I want to ask you a question. What do you want? Have you found out what that is? What is it that you want? Understand what it is that you want. Are you willing to die for it? If you're not willing to die for what it is that you want, then the life that you're living is going to get you what you don't want. Understand that your life has been designed for you to actually do something extremely valuable with it. God has blessed you with this life for a reason. You may be saying, well, yeah, I'm willing to die for it. I'm willing to die for it. Absolutely, I'm willing to die for it. Hey, I want to share something with you. My mentor, Leslie, he wants to share something with you as well. So let me go ahead and play a little something that he wants to leave you with before we close today. Talk to us, Leslie.
You are here because it's in you. It's in your heart. And it says simply this: if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or gulf, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God, you'll get it. God bless you. God bless your dream. God bless America. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Les. And for those of you who want the words to that poem that Les just said, we leave it here on the screen for you. Matter of fact, you can go ahead and take a screen capture, or Dr. Marlena can print it out for you as well. God bless you. This is Jay Johnson, and I'd like to give you a little bit of hope and understand that your dreams were given to you for a reason. Some people may not understand what that reason is because God didn't give them that dream. He gave it to you. And it's up to you to do something with it. See, God gave you life as a gift, but your gift back to God is to live it the way God wanted you to live it. Somebody is waiting for you right now, and they are hoping that you're going to show up. First of all, you have to show up for your life so you can show up for theirs. God bless. We'll see you next time.